Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mariner Wellness YouTube channel and podcast, and all the other ways this will be transmitted to the world at large. So excited to be here with my dearest, beloved soul companion, Jennifer Cappabianca. She and I share a common passion, which is wellness. Wellness at every level: mental wellness, physical wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, the passion to become the radiant, alive, vital beings that we really are. And I have been so blessed to know Jennifer for years, and I would like to introduce her to you. And I pulled this off your website, Jen, and I want to share it with everybody. So Jennifer Cappabianca is passionate about the human body's physical, emotional, and spiritual states. She specializes in how these aspects relate to human illnesses and contribute to our overall well-being. Jennifer holds a Bachelors of Science in Holistic Medicine and is certified in the following courses: Detoxification, Toxicology and Regeneration, Naturopathic Medicine 1 and 2, Clinical Nutrition 1 and 2, Energy Medicine, and Bioresonance, Herbal Medicine, Iridology, Bach Flower Remedies, and Anatomy, Physiology, and Pathology. Jennifer continues to research natural approaches to wellness and cutting-edge technology that assists and supports the body in its healing process. And I knew Jennifer years ago when she worked as a Diagnostic Ultrasound Technologist in General Radiology, as well as in the Vascular Lab for 18 years. And she, and I remember this very well, has observed the way the medical establishment viewed the body as separate and treats symptoms without going upstream to look for the underlying causes. In 2020, Jennifer became a certified EPR biofeedback specialist with an FDA-registered medical device called the Quest 9 Quantum Universal Energetic System Technology, which I'm sure is going to go over a lot of people's heads, but we'll explain. It's going over mine too right now, so I can't wait to hear more. And I remember you going through this, Jen. She is trained with world-renowned biofeedback trainers and many successful practitioners. Her practice consists of personal biofeedback coaching to help her clients reach their optimal wellness goals. And I'll leave you with this quote from Jennifer's website: if we somehow manage to get our bodies into a state of dis-ease, then we must be able to get our bodies back to an optimal state of well-being through our own innate God-given abilities to heal. Hallelujah.
Yes.
I join you with that belief in these God-given gifts we have to access that medicine within, creating those optimal conditions for that healing to occur, and beyond healing, for the emergence of our soul's blueprint and our unique vibration to express itself in all its radiance, and to manifest our purpose on earth which is to become who we are and shine our light in the way only we can. So I'm celebrating you, working your way back to yourself, to your own wellness within, and your passion for wellness, and how your own journey led you here. So would you be willing to start with a little bit of how you got to here, like the before, like I do when feeling, right?
Yeah. So I want to say my whole life I've been in search of a truth.
Right.
And I went into ultrasound to study the body that way and to help people out. And from there, I kept saying and writing in my journals, I don't want to diagnose people. I want to help people. I want to help people. And then it was so hard to leave the field, the money was great. Everything was, great. And then I hurt my shoulder and that took me out. And I knew right there and then, I'm like, this is a sign from the universe saying you're not going to do your own. There's a whole career out there for passion. And I knew it. So at that point I had to study how to heal the body naturally. I was on that path already, but it really pushed me to go down that rabbit hole that led to one thing, to another, to where I am today. And I didn't stop along the way. I knew there were more pieces, and I wasn't going to stop until I put the whole puzzle together.
You feel that in you.
Yeah, because it's not a one thing. It's the body's a whole. So the body, the mind, the emotions, all of that, it had to be put together. And I found like I have the groundwork now here, and I'm very happy to be sharing it with everyone.
You do, and you did not stop. I love how you spoke about the groundwork, laying the groundwork, right? Shifting from the old form of where you were working in the clinical field. And that part of you that I feel was your soul sensing, I have no interest in diagnosing people. Like that's not my thing. And when you shared that, I leaped, and my heart leaped, because I can resonate with that so much, as you and I knowing each other when I was in the clinical mental health field as a licensed mental health counselor, feeling the same thing. Like it went against something innate in me to diagnose people, because they're not their symptoms, right? The
Correct.
symptoms are like you have, the symptoms, whether they're energetic symptoms of anxiety, depression, or their physical symptoms, it's something out of alignment with our true nature, which is healthy, vibrant, radiant, full of potential. Like, so to identify with our pathology rather than our true nature. If we know what we focus on grows, why would we do that? Why would we feed those rather than shift our frequency into what we know is healthy, where we come alive, and amplifying those aspects of ourselves to support us, both in being happy, but also healthier. So I really resonate with that. And you said you knew, and I felt that too. You knew.
Yeah.
There was a way of life that supports the health and emergence of our true nature. And so it led you to where you are today. And I loved seeing your devotion to what you wanted. You were studying all these years, the in between, when we were connected for a while, and then but we've always been connected. And now where you are now, it's just incredible. So can you tell me a little bit about your center? And you've got so many different things you do. I know you really want to spend some time with the EES.
Yeah, explaining what's behind me.
Go ahead.
I just want to, first of all, just say thank you to you, Masha, for doing this and for being there over the last, I don't know, 14, 15 years or so, because I am the person I am today because of you. You helped me along the way. You made me feel, more confident in my life, but every word you say and just your presence is healing. So right there, that's a huge blessing. So thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And then,
It's really fun to share with you.
yeah. And then knowing, and you already tapped in on it, is that everything is energy. So I want to introduce what's behind me. It's the energy enhancement system. We also call it EES. I call it the Quantum Energy Lounge, Energy Spa. So what it is, it's scalar energy technology, and it's photonic, which is color therapy.
Okay.
So what that is doing for the body is a healthy cell should have a potential energy of 70 to 90. And that's when we're healthy, we feel our best, then you often hear people say, I feel drained, I have no energy. That's because literally we don't. We are being drained. So when someone's in a state of disease, their energy at a cellular level may be measured 10 to 30 millivolts. So it dropped down. It is low. So how is the body going to heal itself from that state? It doesn't have enough energy. It has enough energy to maybe be in survival mode. So what this room does is it helps stimulate the energy, the voltage in the body. It restores it, brings you back into harmony. But from there, the body begins to detox itself. And we have bath salts that you can take a bath to help release the toxins in it. So what we have here is an environment healthy for your body to heal itself. It's always the body that heals itself. So that's what we're seeing a lot of. The
Amazing.
color, the color therapy, each color therapy also has its own frequency in it. So red has a certain frequency, and that frequency is equal to a certain mineral as well. And so if you're low and if you're low in energy and you might need to do grounding, which is a form of energy work as well.
Right.
And also that chakra is red.
Yeah.
So we can eat red fruit or something red.
Yeah.
And that helps stimulate those energy centers as well. I guess we just jumped into energy centers a little bit in chakras, but it kind of all, when you understand the body, we're whole. We have these energetic fields around us as well. So that's when we say, clearing the body, mind, the spirit, anything that might resonate with us needs to be cleared and balanced. And you don't have to think of all that while you're here. You can just come and you sit in a zero gravity chair and you think for the first 7 minutes some positive thoughts. How would you like your life to be from here on? So if you had pain in the knee, you don't want to say, oh, take away the pain. You actually visualize yourself. Wow, look at me. I'm walking on the beach. I'm running up the mountain or chasing my grandchildren. You see yourself as healthy. And then you can close your eyes and go within and just take a nap. And we like people to stay at least 2 hours because you can go deeper into that healing state. So we'll take you into the parasympathetic mode, which is part of the nervous system. And that's where you can relax. And when you can put your body into relaxation, it can then start to also heal itself. So it's coming at you, it's enhanced energy. Then you have the relaxing states. You have the color therapy. There's more therapy also within here that she coded within it, a little Sanskrit, angel numbers. And of course, we don't know it all. And the inventor's name is Dr. Sandra Michael Rose.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Actually, I just said it.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Sandra Rose Michaels.
Rose Michael. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Wow. I'm here. I'm getting the word genius. This woman's a genius.
Oh, yes, and her parents were too. Yes, so it got passed along, and she was playing with some of these instruments to make this type of technology since a little girl. So her life knew no difference. And she said she was trying to heal animals at such a young age, trying to invent things. So this is a passion for her. And she once said, she prayed. She said, I don't want to heal people one-on-one anymore, just like my prayer from before.
Yeah.
And she said, how do I heal multiple people? How do we heal the world?
Yes. Oh, I have chills in my body because that's the stage we're in right now of evolution. Is, I received these words one time, cast your net wide. Reach, let's get the message to millions. Let's make these energies available, right? And the way we're all called to multiply the light, to amplify this energy, because we're in a world in crisis, in transition from the old energies, the lower vibrational frequencies of what we call the 3D human. And as we're waking up and remembering the truth of our spiritual nature, and we're reclaiming and returning to that divine nature of full alignment with our original authentic soul's blueprint. There's so many waking up now, and we need to be providing as much as we can for as many as we can, right? So like even in my program, the Well Woman Within program, I have a vision of women's circles all over the world, heart to heart connection for women, because I know that that's a way to multiply the light, like to really feel like we're not alone, we're in this together. We're remembering who we are, we're reclaiming our powers to create lives we love. And to, instead of being in the drama, dreaming our dream into being, which is what you've been doing, Jennifer.
Yes.
And as a result, not only are you more radiant and healthy and happier and more you than ever, I feel your fire, your passion, you get to witness the fulfillment of
Yes.
seeing other people experience things and healing. And in fact, I'd love for you to share a couple of stories, because you shared with me a couple of them that, and I'd love for you to hear, because I was telling some of my clients today, about some of the healings that have happened with this machine. And would you be willing to share that with those that are that will listen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm not making any claims. They're not medical devices, and I'm not a doctor. So these are just what people are reporting to me that's happening to them.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's many now. Every day I have somebody saying, well, the most recent one, someone just came back from her eye doctor's appointment, and she said, can you believe my eyes are starting to correct themselves? That we have to go, backwards on my on the prescription on her glasses because she's seeing better. She didn't come here to ask for that either. It's just happening because the body's balancing itself.
Right.
I do have a legally blind man, two different reasons. One was a carpentry and one a clot went to his eye. He could see someone's outline, kind of fuzzy, but knew how tall you were, and he couldn't see past that long distance. After 5 nights sleeping in the energy enhancement system, he didn't notice it right away. It took a while. And then now he can make a detail out in somebody's face. And in the distance, he can now see fuzzy. So he needs to get back here and do more hours in the EE system. So that has to do with the eyes. There are many stories with lowering inflammation, pain, increase in flexibility. We have a neuropathy story as well.
That's what I
Yes.
was wondering. Could you
So
share
this woman was in bed for about 15 years, a lot of bed sores. She couldn't take a shower barely because the water hurt her feet. She had to always wear sandals. She's at 80% better. And yeah, for the first time in 15 years, she went out to a restaurant with her daughter and even enjoyed Easter. She got into someone's car and they drove up to New Hampshire
I'm getting chills hearing
for a
it.
visit. And she's like, I have freedom. I have my life back. And
So
but I
incredible.
love her attitude was always expect miracles
Yes. Yes.
all the time. So she's very faithful and she's like, I don't know if this is from heaven or from whatever, but just expect miracles. It doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
yeah, she got her little miracle.
Yeah.
The other day too, I had a beginning stage Parkinson,
Mhm.
and her arm was shaking, her hand. And when she left, she tapped me on the shoulder and she said, look, there was no shaking there. And this is something that some people see right away within 2 hours. Other people, we say 20 hours as close together as possible. Everyone has to find their sweet spot. The more chronic somebody is, your sweet spot could be 40 hours, 60 hours. We could get up to 100, but we're here to work with people too. So I don't want anyone to worry about like finances. We have plenty of options. With that, but knowing, so this is a piece of the puzzle is coming here, doing the EE system, then going home, doing your detox baths. But it's also about what are you eating? What are you putting into your body? You're not going to leave here and go to fast foods every night and expect something.
Right.
So it's how are you changing your life too? And if it's emotional, maybe you're getting help from Masha, but you have to address, all parts of the body. Some people defy all of that and just get their little benefits anyways. But for the whole, if you don't want to rely on something, you need to change. So we also specialize here in lifestyle changes. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's so much a part of it. It's that moving from victim consciousness, relying on things outside us, like others to do the work for us, or the doctor patient, telling you what's going on, and giving away your authority to someone out there, or not being willing to take charge of our well-being. That's an inside job, right? So
Yeah.
you're guiding people to the resources that you believe in and can assist, and also some of the lifestyle changes they need to make in order to maintain or even be healthier. But that's where free will comes in, right? So
Yeah. That's, I mean, that was the physical part. But then there's also the part where it's helping post-traumatic stress, anxiety, depression. People feel lighter after leaving here, and even addictions, because you're being filled with energy, you're being filled with light. And so our new paradigm, a new way of looking at the body is that we're electrical beings.
Right.
We're electric. Our heart fires on neurons, our brain, our nervous system. And people don't realize that. So we are electric. We need to be filled with cohesive and balanced energy and color and light, whether that's grounding on the earth or taking in, the sun, or like right now you get to walk by the ocean side. That's all energy we're intaking. That's raising our frequencies. So there's things you can do at home as well to raise your frequencies.
Yeah, you remind me too of the people we hang out with. We become like the people we associate with. And so part of raising your vibe is finding your tribe, finding your soul tribe, finding those who you resonate at the heart frequency, and be around those that are those healing presences, and not just healing, but empowering them and raising one another up and believing in one another. And this is so much a part of the power to manifest. I was watching at my circle last night, women stepping out on fire with passion and believing in their potential to make a difference, holding a women's circle or whatever they're doing. But it is something about being with others in that energy of that frequency that it is truly, it's scientifically proven, right? It's the universal laws, but it feels magical at times when we're in that, like what just happened. And when you were speaking about, the woman who had the neuropathy, which really struck me, Jennifer, was her heart was so open, right? And your heart was so open. The heart to heart you had with her, and then, obviously the fulfillment it must have created for you, and the joy for her. Like, can you feel that energy? Like, it's just incredible to me. And so it's the energy that you're creating. It's your devotion to service. It's your passion for wellness, and your loving heart is all part of what you're doing at your clinic, I don't even want to call it a clinic, wellness center.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I love hearing those stories, and I hope everyone geographically in your area checks you out. And at the same time, you did mention, like I'm here in San Diego, that there are centers everywhere, all around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, to find a center near you, you go to eesystem.com and you can find a center near you.
Okay.
So it's almost 2 years ago, Dr. Sandra did an interview with Jason Shirka from Unified Healing.
Yeah.
And that weekend, she got 77,000 emails. So it resonated with so many of us. So we went from four clinics to over 400 worldwide right now. So they're saying it's growing faster than a coffee, what the Starbucks did, but it's time. It's time. We need this devices and new technology and different ways to look at the body. We do lifestyle changes and detoxification. So you want to clear out the old stuff, put in new stuff, help rebuild it. Again, raise the vibrations, because fruits are energy. Living foods are energy.
Right.
And then it's about if somebody came to me for detoxification and say, where would I start? I like to use those pH urine sticks. They, you do the first morning urine on it, and you can tell where you are on an acid alkaline chart. Because in our bodies, our cells are either bathing in acidic or alkaline, the two different sides of chemistry.
Yes.
So if we're more acidic, we're in the breakdown. We're breaking down, rusting. And if we're more alkaline, you don't want to go too far alkaline either, because that will bring in mold and fungus. So you want to stay balanced on the chart.
Yeah.
So that's about a 7, a little less than a 7, a little over a 7 in your pH.
Yeah.
And that also coincides with your voltage. If your pH is balanced, your voltage is going to be balanced or higher, on the higher end as well. If your voltage is low, you're probably low acidic on your pH.
Yeah.
So it's another way of looking. I'm trying to give like things you could do at home as well as here.
Exactly.
So if you were too acidic, you would introduce more alkaline foods, and you can Google, gives you a list of alkaline food. It's mostly fruits and vegetable, whole foods, either raw or lightly steamed or stir fried, because they're more living, they have more enzymes in them, they have more energy. So it's interesting when you stop figuring it out and putting this all together. Because then it's not easy for us to standard medicine, but it's a change in the way we think.
Exactly. Jennifer, as you were talking, I was thinking about good news for those listening, because a lot of times I've experienced people, in my work with them, what's wrong with me? What's my problem? I don't have any energy, blah, blah, blah. And the trap is to take on more responsibility for feeling crappy or no energy or exhausted or depleted. And yes, some of it's like, especially with women, they often have a hard time putting their well-being first. That's my fire with women. I call it the me first shift, but some of it is just their bodies, being depleted, and they may not even know that, right? Just by lifestyle, by toxins, by foods that have no nutrients, by leaky gut, and all these things that affect our mental health and our physical stamina. If anyone's listening and has been into that trap of blaming themselves, so what's wrong with me? I don't want you to be blaming people out there either, or the system. I just want you to realize that, you didn't know what you didn't know, and it's not your fault if you're feeling like crap. But the first step is to cultivate compassion and love for yourself, and realize your body is needing help and hearing it. And here's the thing, like right now, because we're in such a massive transition, and the consciousness is awakening, and we're getting so much energy in our bodies, and understanding how the past traumas of ancestral traumas affected us, and all these layers of conditioning have impacted our mental health and our physical health. Our bodies are screaming to upgrade the frequency of physical wellness in order to have more radiance, hold more of the energy. So, I feel like what you're doing is happening at a time when it really meets a need of the evolving, awakening human. Also, and I see this constantly, the disillusionment for many of the problems, health issues people are experiencing with the mainstream medical model. Is it appropriate for some things? Absolutely. But how many of us have felt, that it has not been helpful, and maybe even caused more harm? I've seen that too in certain cases. And again, I'm not saying all the time, but have resources like you're creating and offering is just a gift to our world, really is. And
and especially with people with chronic conditions, they often either get like a lot of chemical medications to take, and they just kind of get lost in the system, and then they're depressed, and then they get another medication to take, and now they're not sleeping, and they get something else. And it's like, well, let's go back to the beginning. Where did this all start? Tell me what you were thinking, what you were feeling. And then we also get emotions trapped in our body.
Right.
So that tells a lot. If it's in the lungs, are you holding on to grief
Yes.
You know, is it in the kidneys where you could have fear?
Yes.
You know, so everything has a trapped emotion to it as well. So it's
Exactly.
going back, and it can be as simple as, I can't say it's simple to heal your gut. It does take some time, but learning that your serotonin and dopamine and stuff are made mostly in the intestines.
Right.
So it's about cleaning up your gut to have a healthier mind, like
Exactly.
the mind-gut connection.
It
We look at things differently, but in the end, it all makes sense.
totally does. You know, and I can feel the resonance frequency as you speak. It just, when you start feeling into that vibration, it just lands like beautiful, harmonious music. It just lands in us, in our bodies, because it's something that we already know, and maybe we forgot we knew. So if you're hearing this and you're in your head a little bit, I just really want to encourage you to slip into your body and tune into your heart and listen to whether at some level you already knew this or it resonates with something innate within us, because every single one of us has a superpower of intuition. We came with that. And we have to learn to get back to that heart centered frequency and that intuitive felt knowing, and learn to trust that more and fear less, fear less and trust more in that knowing. And if it's blocked, then and it could be blocked, that's fine. There's no judgment here. But I really want to encourage anyone listening to see whether this speaks to some frequency of your own heart knowing of this feels like an alignment with a higher wisdom.
Mm.
The body has capacity when given the optimal conditions to restore, regenerate, and heal itself from the inside out. Is it a long process for some? Of course, be patient. It's the journey. You start noticing little shifts. Oh my God, that symptom's gone, or I can see a little better. I feel a little lighter, or I just feel like that thought that I used to have, or that pattern, I'm not in that anymore. And I really, I work with my clients, and I do this in my own life. I celebrate every breakthrough. I don't look at how far I have to go. I just go, I made that, I broke through that, right? And I feel better, and whatever it is,
Yeah. And energy, when people are here and they're like, oh, it's not really doing much, but energy will go where it's needed to go.
I
The
was thinking that too.
energy,
Yeah.
yeah, it has its own information, its own intelligence. So maybe your knee's not being, healed. Maybe it's working on something else in you that needs to be balanced before you
That,
get that ache or pain taken
that's,
away.
that's, I was thinking about that person whose eyes, were getting better, did they
Mm.
come for that? Or, we have our plan and our intention, and then we say it didn't work. And I see this with my clients too. I say it worked perfectly. It's the energy knows
Yeah.
what to do, and we just have to get out of the way and trust. If we show up and do our part, the energy will do the rest, and we don't have to figure it all out with our head. I'm hearing those words, trust the process. Jennifer,
Yeah.
before we get off the call, I was talking to somebody about this today, your cell carbon activation.
Oh, yeah, so cell core, the
Cell core.
supplements, yeah. So they're carbon-based technology,
Yeah.
which we use a lot of fulvic and humic
Mhm.
acid in them, which help really bind and they give you energy. So they made these kits, and I absolutely love them because so many times people are like, oh, I want to do, let's say, hair plans. I want to fix my liver next, and then this, but they're not putting it all together. And I spent years trying to put together a program to take somebody through it all, and they already did it. And it's a beautiful program. A lot of doctors are using them now in clinics like mine, and it really takes you from head to toe. So it gives you binders on detox, and so binders help grab a hold of the toxins, make sure they get out of the body and not recirculated. And then they give you minerals and ATP to raise your energy, because when you're detoxing, sometimes you don't feel that great. So they want you to feel great so you can still go to work. And then it starts gently with heavy metals and parasites, restoring the gut. And then they have specialties too. If somebody has moles or candida that you can add to the program, Lyme is another one. Um, Yeah, all around, we have stuff to help and support people with Lyme as well. But it's a whole program, and it's remarkable. People are getting some great results. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
Right.
that's part of our detoxification program. And I have many different detox programs to meet everyone's needs. I like to meet people where they're at,
Yes.
you know, whether you're vegan or a meat eater, or, you know, we have something for
Yeah.
everyone.
So that would be something, I'll guide people to where they can contact you in a minute. I did want to also mention that at your center, you have crystal bowl sound healing ceremonies.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
we
you
have workshops to build community. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
And
the
you have
sound bowls, we call it scalar yoga we'll do in the room, and we have an earthing workshop coming up, and if somebody else has any ideas and they want to reach out and host a workshop here, I'm open to that as well. We might have somebody in a few weeks, maybe doing a CBD talk.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm already getting
Building community. We need community.
I'm already getting some messages as to who I could connect you with in that area. And yeah. And so thank you for that. And I would love for you to let our listeners know where they can contact you now.
Okay. It's Radiant Energy Wellness. The website is www.radenergy.live.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm in Northborough. I'm located in Northborough.
Northborough, Massachusetts.
Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
also, by the way, I forgot to mention do biofeedback. And it's a very powerful technology that I actually have benefited from recently. You did it a while ago and did it again. And, you know, I was blown away by the remote work you're doing. And so if you're listening to this and you're not in the area and you want a biofeedback session with Jennifer, you just lie there for 90 minutes, relax. She does this whole scan of your body and sends you a several page research on, you know, all the things that are going on in your body. And then we'll get on a call with you and guide you personally through what you need to do to get your body back to an optimal state. So I wanted people to know. Can you explain the biofeedback just briefly?
Yeah, so the biofeedback actually, it scans your body against over 11,000 different items already in the biofeedback. So it will pick up your major stressors and imbalances in your body. So one might be, oh, your liver is a major stressor and it's linked to the bowel. So then we would go ahead and give the frequencies to help balance that out. It has a 36-page report of wellness goodness, we call it. Yeah, so it will touch on everything. There's 37 different panels, and the biofeedback has its own intelligence. So it tells us what your body needs based off of your own baseline. And we go into, there's like dark field analysis and spinal work and dental. And so it will lead us where you need the most frequencies and to balance you.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, it's when you're really looking for a root cause. That's where we can dig deep and we keep digging, you know, is it heavy metals? Is it parasites? Is it, you know, what's happening? Is it the adrenal glands that need support? And instead of, you know, I'm trying to switch it. Instead of saying your major stresses, I like to say, what needs the most love in your body today?
I love that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a book I've read on intuition. And ever since I read this book, she talked about treating our bodies like they're 3-year-olds. And that was several months ago I read that. And ever since I read that, my level of devotion to my body, to treat it like a 3-year-old, it's incredible when you start doing that, because 3-year-olds respond to love. They're, you know, they're past a little bit of the toddler. They're still toddlers, but you know, they're just in that open. They're just so in love with life, off usually, and us. You know, they're caregivers, and so our bodies are in love with us. And when we tune into them with loving presence, they I even feel that that consciousness and attunement to our bodies, if we're paying attention, our cells become happy because we're tuning in. And it
Yeah.
seems like it's easy to listen to our bodies, but my experience is that it's pretty challenging at times, especially in our world that's driven by doing more and being busy all the time and identifying our worth with achievement, appearance, and affluence, or, those outer things. When our body's asking us to slow down and rest and resource and renew and get out of the fast-paced lives, it can be hard. We've got our plans and all that. So it sounds so easy to listen to what our body may be needing.
Yes.
We get our mind out of the way.
Yeah, I feel that. And I feel like here I'm present for everybody, because if you can just be present and listen to them, they're telling you what's wrong with their body. I'm like, you find out more by just listening than anything.
Yeah,
So
that's so true.
yeah. So even listening, you can find out by
Mhm.
listening to your inner child. And
You can, and
I love that.
at the same time, your technology and your education, your presence,
Mm.
I'm getting to where it just accelerates that process. It's like having a guide by your side who's trained in what you need to get to the next level faster than you could do it on your own. We're at a time of urgency, not, one of my clients said this beautiful quote, take your time, but don't waste your time. We need to slow down, but there's also an urgency to get our bodies aligned with that vibrational frequency of healing so that we can not just reduce pain, but to
No, and you said it, you're so right on, Masha, because part of it is you can go deeper within the first 7 minutes than a Tibetan monk can in meditation. So there's something in here that scalar energy, which is a universal energy that helps you
yes,
to get into that space.
that is incredible. I get
That
excited
space
about
is
that.
where you create,
Can you imagine what that does to your body? People listening to be in that state of a Tahitian monk. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the miracle zone. Thank you, Jennifer, for this time.
Thank you so much.
And I will make sure I post how to reach you in the chat or in the info below the recording so that everyone will know where to contact you. And I also want to remind people that you don't need to be in that area to benefit from her services, as I am all the way across the country and benefiting from Jennifer's guidance and love and talent and training in an area that's really ripe right now for all of us to be pursuing optimal wellness. So thank you, Jennifer, for this time.
Thank you, Masha. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.